Okay, I'll have to figure that out with the music. All right, let's just get into it. Okay, just give me 1 second, make sure everything's working correctly. All right, looks like we're good. So, good morning, everyone. Ready to get started in trading. I know we've been gone for about 2 weeks now, but really excited to be back and really excited to hop into this. Um, so, like usual, if this is your first time ever being on the D4X morning trading session, let me break down what we go over in this. Basically, I go over a few charts that I generally pay attention to and show basically my analysis for the week or the month, and basically the main ones I'll be paying attention to for that month. And at the end, if you guys do have any pairs that you personally want to go over, I will go over those as well. Just comment it in the YouTube chat. Okay. Good morning, Nisi. I think that's how you say your name. But let's go ahead and get into it. So GJ, if you've been tracking GJ with me since last week, last month, not last week. Been tracking GJ with me since last week. We've really been holding this trade since this setup that we had basically at the beginning of last month. Beginning of July, we took that off that engulfing candle, and now we're up about 520 pips. We had a few other entries here. I know mainly if you're in the private section, you know, private section, whether you're a student or I realize that you take trading very seriously. When we talked, you're in that section, you know about it, but we've been tracking this entire time and been looking for these opportunities. But that's your GJ. Let's go to a lower time frame and see if we can catch a see if there's another opportunity here. So here on GJ, we can see on the higher time frame that we were in this channel, and price is essentially going on an uptrend here. Okay, right now we have an impulsive move, and price is correcting itself at the moment. Ideally, I would love for it to get down to this level, right above this previous correction. But the first area that I'm going to look at it at is right here, right on top of this little small area here. Let's go down to the 1 hour so we can see a little bit better. Those are my zones for that. Alright, as I said, first area looking at is right here. Second area would be down here. And if you know my setup, looking for a JCP when price gets to those points. And then we'll be entering. Alright. Oh, of course, I'll go over NAS. I love NAS. I'll go over NAS after I get through my my morning breakdown. Let's go ahead and go to CADJPY. CADJPY. We've been tracking this for a while as well. I remember we were selling in this downtrend or this strong impulsive move here, and we also caught a few moves here. We looked for that final sell, but price turned around on us and continued up. Don't believe we really traded after that, or I sent out anything after that. But oh, I did send a sell or two here. But we can see now price has formed an expanding triangle. Now with this expanding triangle, ideally I'd love for price to come all the way back up to that zone, give us another opportunity to enter off that perfect area to enter pretty much, and look for it to sell down to this demand zone down here. But that's pretty much it. Like on CADJPY, I don't really want to go down to a lower time frame. I'd rather wait for this larger setup because it's really clean, and I wouldn't really want to take the chance on the lower time frames. Let's go to UJ. UJ has been perfect. So UJ, we've been tracking it since about April, I believe. Right around here. Yep, April. We caught this first initial sell, and we're looking for it to form an expanding triangle. Yep, looking for it to form an expanding triangle here. It kind of did something a little bit weird, not the exact pattern that I wanted initially, but nonetheless, it did set up the way that we wanted it to. It came up to this zone and then sold off from that area. We caught a few sells here and sent out this setup for this sell here. I hope someone else caught that. I was not paying attention to this pair last month. I was only paying attention to USDJPY and GN, but I hope someone else caught it in the chat. If you did, go ahead and comment in the comment section. USDJPY, one of the favorite pairs I've been paying attention to recently. We've been tracking sales this entire time. You can see prices come down to the supply zone or this demand zone, and we're looking for price to actually reverse, which it looks like it is at the moment. If you guys do have any questions at all during the entire time, just go ahead and type it in the comment section. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Oh, let me slow down. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, with this demand zone, we see price is pretty much past the demand zone, and then price broke our trend line, is moving impulsively up through that demand zone. So what I'm going to do is go down up to the weekly and see if there's anything that allows us to lower this demand zone. So because with that break of the trend line, I would like to start looking for buys instead of continuing looking for sells, because if we look, one second. All right, if we look on the weekly time frame, we can see price has really just been ranging between these 2 points, It's been ranging between these two areas since 2015. All right, so this is a strong, very strong area that price is likely to reverse, and we would like it to see. We would like to. We would like to see it come up to that downtrend that we have there. Now let's go ahead and go down to the lower time frame. Now that we know we're looking for buys, trend line's broken and it's leaving our demand zone. We have a strong impulsive move there. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, really just all impulse. 1-hour time frame, we may be able to catch something today, but at the moment, nothing really too serious. Ideally, what I want to wait for is just a nice little correction coming down here to form a inverted head and shoulders. And if that doesn't happen, like, we'll just still have to keep on waiting. At least I personally will still be waiting because I want a larger correction for me to get a better entry off of here. Now on the 15-minute, if you're more of an intraday trader, you like to get in and get out of the market in the same day. Right here we have an impulsive move happening for us, and I like to see price come down to here and then look for it to shoot up a little bit more. All right. But that's pretty much it. Just looking for it to push up a little bit more, then come back down if you're interested in that intraday potential buy. 2 more pairs, then we'll get to the requested pairs. We got EURUSD. EURUSD has been amazing. So, believe in April, March and April, we talked about this. We were talking about this weekly descending channel and looking for price to shoot up. Back up into this area. We originally had another demand zone down here, but obviously price, this range down here doesn't really matter anymore. And if you look at the notes that we have here, we can see price broke this descending channel that we had, which is a reversal pattern. Then it broke this previous supply zone, right? So now that it's broken above that supply zone, it is now our new demand zone. And this area between this supply zone and this demand zone is the new area that we're strictly paying attention to, right? So if we look at price as if we're looking through our windows, right? Looking through the window of our house, this is outside, and this is what we're paying attention to. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the daily. Now here we can see prices just been moving impulsively, at least on the daily time frame. Let me delete all this mess off my chart. It's just been moving impulsively. I would love to see price come back down to this demand zone just to test it one more time, and like to see it come down correctively. And if it does do that, you can see over here it would also be testing this kill zone area. If you know kill zones are, it's basically just support and resistance. That's really all it is. Okay, and since last week you can see that we had this uptrend here, and then price has broken this trend line here. Okay, so today there actually was an opportunity for a sell on the lower time frame. So let's continue down. We can see that we have a downtrend here, and then here we have an impulse. Here's our little correction here. There's even another correction inside of it that I can see. Let's go down to the 15-minute. All right, there's our impulse, here's our correction, and then if we look even tighter, there's another impulse, there's another correction. All right, for a nice little sell. Now here, what we can do, we can wait for a little retest right here, then enter for a sell in this area. I would like my SL right there, about a 40 pip SL, and looking for it to come all the way down to there, but don't really want to play too ambitious with don't really want to be too ambitious because it's like pretty much the first trade of the month. Yeah, so I'll just settle for a 2-to-1 here instead of going for a 3-to-1 or more. But this is definitely going on my list. I really like EURUSD, especially this especially this month with the potential buy that it has up to that supply zone. Let me add it to active trading. The potential here, we can see on the way down, we have about 200 pip potential on the way down. And then on the way up, we go to the daily time frame, reset that. On the way up, if it comes all the way down to the supply, this demand zone, and goes back up to that supply zone, that's about 560 pips. All right. And it's really just off of, really to catch that, all you really need is 2 entries if you get it right. But that's going to be on the list the entire month. Let's go to CADCHF. CADCHF has been playing out exactly like we wanted it to. I believe I sent this to the public chat as well. We've been looking for sales since price has been up here in this area since that first correction, which is June, early June or mid-June. And then price has just been consolidating the entire time. It finally decided to break out. You're going to see prices kind of beginning to stagger again outside of this zone. So we can see prices come up to resistance area that we have here. But we need a pattern to form here. We need more of a corrective movement before we consider this a sell opportunity, or before I would consider it a sell opportunity. Let's go ahead and go down to the lower time frame, because I do see a possible ascending channel that we can capitalize off of. So we do have a strong impulsive move here, but we can see prices correctively moving up. So this right here is telling us price has a potential to reverse. Now this, if you're one of my students and you're on the call, you know this is not our setup, because what we look for is impulse, correction, continuation, right? And this is not a continuation pattern. You know what type of pattern this is, reversal pattern. So make sure you know the levels of risk each of your entries take in this situation. Okay, but ideally what I want to see in this situation, price give me an impulse here, nice little pullback, and then push down to that demand zone down there. Real nice and simple. Now before I move on to the requested, does anybody have any questions on any of the pairs I just went over? Okay, so I'm gonna assume that we're all good, and I'm gonna go ahead and move to NAS 100. If you guys do have any pairs that you want me to go over, comment it in the comment section or the chat section, and I'll break it down. So first NAS, let's see what we were looking at in NAS last time. NAS, we looked for that sell, it played out. That's nice, but it doesn't really matter anymore. I'm gonna keep that downtrend there just to recognize it. Let's go up to our weekly time frame and see the overall chart on NAS. Geez, it's been making new highs. It's not really a nice channel for me to place there. I can draw an uptrend here. Okay, lower time frame we do have a channel, and price has been reacting within that channel since April. Price has broken our lower time frame downtrend, and right now on an uptrend, potentially revisiting the top of that channel. Okay, so right now from this time frame we're looking for buys. Let's go to our 4 hour, and let's actually go back to the daily, because there's something that we can notice here. Within this channel, we can see prices really just obviously been making higher highs and higher lows, But if you look closely at it, there's impulsive and consolidation movements. Right before here, we have an impulse movement, consolidation. Picking the wrong one. Nope. All right. Impulsive, consolidation, impulsive, all that consolidation, impulsive. We're moving out of a consolidation phase right now. So right now we're in an impulsive phase. So after this impulsive phase, potentially revisiting the high of the channel, as you've seen it hit every time. We're looking for a consolidation phase afterwards. And those consolidation phase, I would say, are your prime times to enter, because after that phase, you're looking for a push out of it. Okay, so here's our impulsive movement. Let's go down to up to the 4 hour. We're looking for price to revisit the top up there. Let's look at how both of them look. Yeah, that's pretty deep. I like this one for now. I want to see price push up a little bit higher and then correct down. Potentially coming down to this zone is a bit generous, but at least testing this trend line and then pushing up. Let's go down to a lower time frame and see if there's something we can capitalize off of today. Not much. So what I see is a wedge. I personally don't trade wedges because I don't like the way that, at least I don't like the way that I see opportunities to enter on wedges. What I would like to see and what would interest me with this pair is if it forms an expanding triangle coming back down to here and retesting this, or testing this kill zone area and looking for that push up to there. Now with that wedge, generally the wedge, if you don't really haven't really experienced it too often, generally wedge will continue up like this, kind of like an ascending channel, but it will continue pushing up like that. And let's see the potential here. If we get it from the bottom of this, it's about 3,000, almost 4,000, or 400 points. And then we have about 500 points. Or okay. Any other pairs that you guys want me to go over? Alright then guys, since there's no more requests, I really appreciate everyone that hopped on and asked questions. Hope you guys take advantage of the market this week and have a good week and a good month. I will catch you again on Wednesday. Have a good week.